Today I'm gonna show you how to go from this to this within the first 10 minutes of your wipe, because sometimes guns can be damn hard to get in Rust, especially on a high pop-up server. There's too much competition on the red towns and all nakeds trying to get you right from the very beginning. So to avoid this, you will learn 10 guaranteed ways to get weapons as fast as possible in Rust by using the best tips and tricks and some unusual game mechanics. Make sure to watch the entire video, because the last few methods will definitely surprise you. And remember that the like and subscribe options are still available on YouTube, so use them while it's free. Once you spawn in, one of the first things you want to do is open the map and locate the nearest fishing village. If you're too far away, just respawn again. Now that's much better. On your way, try and collect 75 scrap for a diving kit. If it's too difficult, 35 scrap will be enough to buy a diving tank, and hope you find diving fins along the way. Once in the fishing village, go to this shop and buy a diving kit for the scrap you recently farmed. Next, speak to this guy right here and accept the mission to do the underwater diving. Head out to sea and find floating bottles, which will indicate a shipwreck below. Next, go down underwater and untie the boxes by holding E on them. Be careful, because there may be sharks waiting for you.
Hello there.
Complete this quest and swim back to fishing village to claim your pump shotgun and ammunition. It was the first and easiest way to get a gun that will help you dominate after the wipe. For the second method, we'll use the same tactic, but this time you need to run to bandit camp. On your way, farm all barrels that you see, including fuel barrels. When you get into bandit camp, go to this building and recycle all your components. 99% of the time you will have some amount of hike wall that you don't need right now. So here's the trick. You can come to this gentleman here and he will buy things that you're not going to use, like hike wall or crude oil, giving you quite a bit of scrap. Selling these things here can help give you a little boost to get what you want. Now with this scrap you need to come to this guy here and buy M92 pistol. Then go to this building, climb the ladder and research the bullet. Go back to the cellar and use the remaining scrap to buy grenades. Next, recycle your grenades and find this building near the gate. Here you will find a workbench level 1, and now you can make as much ammo as you need. You can also use the remaining resources to craft armor, tools and other things that you might need. This method is more complicated, but the result is much better compared to the first one. And if you start playing a few days after wipe, you can search on the map for vending machines where other players are selling weapons. Try to find the cheapest price. Most of the time you'll have to pay in sulfur. For example, take a look at this offer. I think it's a great exchange. You need to farm a couple of sulfur ores, and in exchange for that you will get your first gun. But don't run to the vending machine itself. Instead, go to the outpost and farm sulfur and scrap along the way. You can use drones inside the outpost, which will deliver the weapons to you for a small fee. Then you can repeat the same steps as you did in bandit camp. Buy a few grenades and recycle them. Find the workbench and craft ammunition for your weapon. Once you have successfully completed one of these methods, you will be able to select the following options. If you feel confident, you can start snowballing. Or you can build a scrap generator. Let's start with the first way. To begin with, you need some wood. You can farm the trees around the outpost, or find a stone and then trade it for wood. Build a simple 2x1 near the outpost and start taking out everyone who runs into the safe zone. Mostly these players should have lots of loot. And if you don't want to live near the outpost, because here you have FPS losses, you can use an even more efficient way to get weapons. But be ready, cause everyone will hate you. You can build a base in low tier locations with high population, like gas stations, supermarkets or mining outposts, and camp other players with yoka or double barrel if you can craft it. You have no idea how profitable it is. On the 300 pop-up server with full online, I was able to get 500 scrap per hour and tons of guns while playing solo. But if you catch a clan player, it can end badly, and in the next 5 minutes your base will be gone. However, if you're not that good yet, or you don't want to take any risk, you can get scrap from other players in a different way. You may be wondering, why we need scrap if we need guns? It's simple. With scrap you can research any weapon on the workbench or trade it for a blueprint of the weapon you want from other players, using the same vending machines. In any case, scrap is a universal game currency with which you can buy anything. And to get this currency, you can build a trap base in locations with high population, outpost, bandit camp, gas stations, supermarkets. All these locations are a gold mine, and you are very lucky, because on my channel you will find a bunch of different traps that not many people know about, which will guarantee you tons of loot and a great time. But you can build an even more interesting base. I present you the Red Tower. If you are playing with a friend, this will be the best wipe of your life, especially if you build it next to outpost. But the fun will end once you run into a clan. In that case, nothing will help you. If you don't want to get in trouble, farming unpopular red towns will be your solution. You'll need cards for most of them, but Sever Branch and Water Treatment are the best monuments in my opinion, because here you don't need cards, you need skill. And you have a 35% chance of getting a weapon from military crates. Also, you have a small chance to find the weapon in crates next to the road. More specifically, that chance is 1%. So you can farm on the road or in the sea, whichever you prefer. And then sell unwanted components to other players to get even more scrap. Try to use diplomatic skills, negotiate with clans for exchange. And this gentleman can show us a wonderful example of communication skills. So he made a deal with the other players. In exchange for 6,000 stone, which he will spend a few minutes to farm, they agreed to give him a semi. As you can see, in addition to his excellent communication skills, he also has great building qualities. So you can use this method too. And the last way to get weapons can only be used by real professionals. Right after you get the pump shotgun in the fishing village, swim to oil rig. Because here, even without having cards, you can get a huge amount of all sorts of loot, including weapons. And on this channel you can learn how to do it right. I told you the best ways to get weapons and dominate the server, so I don't understand why you're still here. Go to the server and apply what you've learned. And be sure to write in the comments below which method works best. And if you need an insane base for your next wipe, then this is the most overpowered base in all of Rust.